Hi guys. Welcome back to Triple M Podcast. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Felicia.
And today we're going to tell you about
the Butcher Baker.
The butcher who's also
a baker.
A baker!
Yay!
Yay!
Pastries are fun.
Pastries are fun. I wonder if he bakes meat pies.
Oh my gosh.
That would make the most
amazing.
sense. Meat pies. A butcher baker. That's...
I think he was known for his apple pie though.
Meat pies are so fucking good.
I haven't had a meat pie before.
I'm just drooling in the mouth thinking about meat pies.
Are we talking about the same kind of meat pies?
We are. Pierogies. Welcome to Seattle, where we're known for our fucking pierogies. Anyway, we guys, hope you guys enjoy our episode today. If you want to find us on social media, you can hit us up on Instagram at Mental Mysteries. You can find us on Facebook at Mental Myths and Mysteries. And if you log on, you'll be able to see some pretty dope fucking art we've been posting lately for the holidays. And happy early holidays to you guys. Happy fucking Turkey Day.
Turkey.
Turkey lurkey. Hi guys, welcome to our podcast, Mental Myths and Mysteries. It's alright, it's okay, but you should listen anyway. Hi guys. For the holidays, Triple M is showcasing local artists from around the world, and you can check out our social media page to see art this week from Josh Kirkham. You can find Josh on Insta at Happy Little Landscapes. Support small business and pick up a custom Christmas present or hit him up for a commission. Thanks so much, Josh, for sharing your art with us and being a listener. What the fuck is up, Fee?
Hey,
bitch.
It's cold outside.
I gotta tell these people a story. So a little while ago, we were like going through all our fucking emails, which is so annoying. Because who's creative that wants to go through the logistics process besides you? Because you're fucking weird. Like to make calendars and spreadsheets and shit.
Doesn't mean I stick to them.
Unless it's a spreadsheet I make you make. Then you don't seem to like it as much.
I don't like being told what to do.
Clearly. But also still likes being told what to do.
It depends on the...
context?
Yeah.
If you'd like to know further on the context, hit up Felicia on her OnlyFans at...
Pink Puma 95.
Just kidding. She doesn't have an OnlyFans. Anyway, speaking of OnlyFans, this is what happened earlier. So we're down here going through the emails. My feet are fucking freezing because Felicia lives in a goddamn basement. And you know what? Should I say GD? Should I say the GD word? Maybe we're going to have to bleep that one out.
We can say fuck, but we can't say gosh darn.
I don't know. You know, people and their sensitivities. So anyway, I'm just going to go over here to Felicia's dresser and grab some socks because it's cold in here and we share everything anyway. I'm just going to put some socks on my feet. Felicia proceeds to hop up from her chair like a Dallas Cowboys running back and barrel forward into me and almost tackle me over her dresser to shut the drawer. Now, Felicia, would you like to tell the listeners what is in that drawer?
She's going to act like it's not the fucking holiday season right now and there's gifts going around and about.
Oh, clearly not what I thought was in the drawer.
You thought it was drugs, huh?
I thought it was drugs. Well, the thing is I've seen everything else she has. I've seen her toys. I've seen any alcohol. I pretty much know everything about you.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, what could possibly be in this drawer other than crack cocaine?
It wasn't crack. I would have shown you the crack cocaine.
She's like, hey, guys, look, I scored this crack cocaine. We should do some before the show.
Yeah, no, it's... Think about the context. Think about where we are.
Got it. There's presents in the drawer. Okay. I feel better now. All you had to do was tell me that earlier. Were you waiting for the show? Oh, because it was for... Got it. No. Somebody else that was in the room?
No, it was from someone else in the room.
Oh, snap. Okay. Well.
Just tell her not to listen to this episode.
Let's hope she doesn't listen to this episode. What the fuck, Felicia? You shouldn't even have told me all of that. All right. Clearly the present was from my fiance to me, hidden in Felicia's drawer. All right. She really went well along with that lie. She was making jokes with me. Wow. She's great at lying. If I ever need anybody to lie, call in on Lexi.
Well, she didn't know it was in there.
Oh, okay.
Until when you left and I was like, Are you? I'm like,
Because we're getting like natural reactions.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Anyway, so that's fucking great. The holidays are coming. It's almost Thanksgiving.
it's almost Thanksgiving. I'm so excited to eat mac and cheese.
We're cooking so much shit. And then I hear that other people are canceling because the governor said so, which is really sad.
I mean, I get it. And I feel like other people are canceling not because the governor said so. They're just using it as an excuse.
As an excuse not to have to hang out with their family.
Yeah, it's a reasonable excuse.
That is totally a reasonable excuse.
Like, I'm sorry, Grandma, Grandpa, Auntie, Uncle, I can't come because Governor Inslee said so.
Governor Inslee said so. All hail mighty Governor Inslee.
Keeping us introverts in check.
In check. I also heard that if Biden gets elected president, which he should, pending the Electoral College actually follows the popular vote. But, you know, they're crooked, so we never know what's going to happen. But I heard that he's not going to initiate a national lockdown. While Japan is in their third surge. So, you know how, like, the Spanish flu once, then twice? Japan's on number 3, and they're talking about another, like, nationwide lockdown.
I think it really depends on our nationwide lockdown doesn't look like what another country's nationwide lockdown will look like anyway. So I don't know why people are tripping.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it could be because they're going to keep essential employees going. We have no socialist programs in place to keep anybody, like, afloat.
Yeah, no. At least we still got jobs.
Sweden's like, we'll shut the whole country down and pay all of you $4,000 a month and give you free health care and everything else. And we're like, you can get one stimulus check and the second one's never fucking coming.
And it was only $1,200. Bitch, what are we doing with $1,200?
Yeah, what the fuck are we doing? Do you know how much my mortgage is?
Not $1,200.
I live in Seattle. If you guys can just guess. It's double that plus some.
Plus some.
Fucking plus some. Ridiculous.
For a very lovely home. But
For a very lovely home.
they acting like it's a McMeany mansion out here.
And we've been in a pandemic for how fucking long now? And $1,200? Like, what the shit?
Once at the beginning of this in April.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that I'm a nurse because I really don't know what other people are doing. Like, I've pretty much had to quit working, though, to deal with this fucking school from far away bullshit. But,
I feel like they should just pass them and then teach them other skills. I feel like learning through a pandemic is impossible because none of these kids are getting the education they need.
yeah, and I feel like I should get half the teachers' pay. I love teachers, don't get me wrong. I always say yes to more taxes to pay the teachers, but I feel like I'm doing half of their job half the time.
Right.
Because they're not, like, actually on live teaching the kids. They're just going on live to have, like, a small lesson, and then they all hang up, and then they're expected to figure out the work on their own.
And it's like it's not their fault the way the system is set up, but like they could be more available.
Yeah, they could. I mean, well, actually, the school system here did do something where they've made a teacher, just a random teacher. It's not your child's specific teacher, but they've made a random teacher available to come on between the hours of 5 and 7 so that they can have, like, after hours help. So, like, your parents can't coordinate that if they're both still working and you're just left at home, right? So when the parents get home, then they can have some after hours where they can get on with the teacher and talk to them, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely gotten better around here, but it's still really, 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 really stressful. It's probably the most stressful thing I've had to deal with this entire pandemic.
That's the thing. Not all kids were built for homeschool.
Yeah.
Like
I
10% of kids are built for it.
It's worse than the stress I dealt with in the beginning when we were treating COVID patients and I had no PPE.
Like, I could be getting COVID right now.
Like, oh, here you go. Put your mask in a brown paper bag. That's going to fix it. After they've spent years drilling into our heads that you cannot clean shit out of linens, right? Because viruses just get trapped in the linen surface.
Right, you're throwing away in new.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're throwing the mask away. Now they're baking in 95s and they're coming back and they smell like spit still.
That's so gross.
It's really nasty. If you guys didn't know this is what's happening to nurses. They're taking the N95 masks, they're sending them out, they're baking them in an oven at a low temperature to kill the germs, but it's not killing the smell. And so when the mask comes back, you're wearing a mask that's been sent out from God knows who, wore it before you, and it smells like their mouth. It is nasty.
Which is great. I hate putting on a mask that smells like my mouth.
Yeah. Lexi has started putting, like, essential oils in her mask, but it's like, now it smells like lavender mouth.
Lavender mouth.
Would you like some lavender spit, Nurse Crystal? No. No, the fuck I would not.
Actually, I would like some patchouli spit, if you don't mind.
Patchouli spit. Yum. Sounds disgusting.
Gross.
Anyway, so that's how my fucking year's been.
Mine's has been at home. The last job I had, they sent us home. Like, they knew all this shit was going down beforehand, because it's a lab company. So they knew all this shit was going down beforehand. So they sent us home way early.
Well, they're out collecting blood still, because I've been getting emails people trying to recruit me for jobs to go like collect plasma and shit.
I worked in billing.
Yeah, because you can do billing working from home. Yeah, much better. Anyway, so I'm happy about Turkey Day. What's your favorite thing to eat on Thanksgiving?
You didn't hear me start this
Macaroni
off with
and
mac
cheese?
and cheese?
Yeah,
And stuffing.
that new Kevin Hart special where they're like 7 cheeses, and he's like, black people are like, the only thing that needs 7 cheeses on it is macaroni and cheese.
And that's true. All right.
And he also had COVID, which was crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Apparently everybody has, you probably have COVID, listeners. You should go get tested.
Yeah. And well, he said he was asymptomatic. He had 0 symptoms. The only reason he found out that he had COVID was because his wife had it. Spoiler alert. We're talking about Kevin Hart's new comedic show release on special he released on Facebook, which is pretty dope. You should watch it.
I already said Facebook. It's on Netflix.
I'm sorry. Fuck. Netflix, Facebook, Instagram. This is my life. This is all I fucking talk about now.
TikTok,
yeah. She's closer to Gen Z. I'm a fucking old lady. My knees hurt. My freaking personal trainer made fun of me for getting the most padded foam thing below the TRX to do my planking, whatever the fuck they're called. Anyway, I thought I was gonna fucking die. Bullshit.
the ones where you like push your leg, like it's like you're basically jumping jack.
I feel like a fucking accordion. I like have to accordion my legs up and I just think he likes me in that fucking position. I'm gonna be honest. Frank, if you're listening, I think you just put girls in that position to see their ass. I'm not gonna lie.
Frank, if you're listening, I don't judge you.
No. He probably really doesn't. Actually, because the first day that I tried to do it, I couldn't even fucking stay up on my plank. Granted, he always does it at the end of my workout, and so my arms are fucking dead by the time I get there, and he's like, it's not your arms that are holding you up, it's your core. And I'm like, well, my core is trash, and so I have to lean on my arms, and my arms are fucking dead. So, like, the first day, I couldn't even stay up in the plank position long enough to pull my legs in. But I can do it now. Two reps of 10.
2 reps.
10. By the third one, I died. I couldn't do it anymore. But
I'm not looking forward to when I'm like full time with Samantha, because that one thing she had me do on the wall, I'm still feeling it, and it's been a week.
It's been a week. Oh, that's good. Because I remember when we first worked out, and you were all like, "Oh, I can do 500 sit-ups, no problem, right in front of you, bitch." And I was like, we're both fat. What the fuck are you doing right now? Like,
I have a strong core.
like I can't even see your core though. Where is it? Under those giant melons. It's under there, isn't it?
My core is protected by a nice thick layer of fat, actually.
Do your melons make your core stronger? You've had to hold those titties up for so fucking long that your abs are like a 6-pack under your fat.
Probably.
That's what the fuck it is. This is bullshit.
I have a fucking Great Dane puppy on my chest, basically.
I want to know if the other big titty goth girls that are hopefully listening to our podcast also have strong cores, because I'll tell you what, my thighs holding up this big ass of mine, peak level, bro, peak level. But I definitely don't have all those tatas.
I like how you put in goth girls. Thank you for like following my aesthetic.
Oh my god, I love big titty goth girls. Shout out to big titty goth girls.
That's all I want to be every day, but I'm like, it's not socially acceptable.
I don't think that our generation really gives a shit what is socially acceptable anymore, do we?
I hang out with old people.
Yeah, well, they're all gonna die soon. Thanks, COVID. Just kidding. I hope your family's safe and healthy. We hope that you're actually exercising, some safe distancing and sanitizing. We joke and fuck around, but as a nurse, like, we really do need to take this seriously.
Yeah, it's my dad called the other day. He's like, what are the symptoms again? I was like, oh, fuck.
Shitting on yourself, basically anything and everything. One of my best friends has it now. And so I sent her over. She tells me, I want some ice cream because I can't actually taste anything. So I can only feel things. and I want it to feel creamy. Like, could you imagine? The only way you can force yourself to eat is by the feeling of the food in your mouth.
Oh,
What if nothing tasted like anything and it was all textural?
there are some things I would enjoy eating.
But I think there's some people in the world that would never eat anything because there's so many people that are like hate textures.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm like, first of all, you can't have sugar. If you ever hear me talk about nursey shit involving healing, please stay the fuck away from sugar, okay? Sugar feeds viruses, okay? That's my opinion. There's a lot of research on it. I don't care who you talk to. That's what I got to say. So I'm like, I'm not bringing you fucking ice cream, right? I'm like, I'll bring you something sugar-free. So I go to the coffee place, and I'm like, give me a big blended sugar-free caffeine, blah, blah, what the fuck ever. And then I'm like walking up the stairs to her house. She lives on the 3rd fucking floor, by the way. Thanks for that, Markel. Anyway, I get to the 3rd fucking stairs of her house, and I'm out of fucking breath. And I'm like, okay, now I'm hyperventilating, and there's air outside of her apartment, and it has COVID in it. This fucking air out here.
Did you wear a mask up there?
I did not, which I'm like, I'm not going to go in her house. But then I'm like, wait, dryer vents and air circulation. There's fucking air in this hallway. Oh my God, there's COVID air out here. So I'm like freaking out. I pull my t-shirt up. I'm fucking hyperventilating. Okay, I'm going to get over here. I'm like, don't touch the rug. Don't touch the door. Like, I'm like, sit the drink down. Run fucking to the stairs. Like, I can't breathe anything else here. And then I'm like, hey, let me know, like, what it tastes like, right? If she can get any flavor from it. So she sends me this video later, and it's her eating it. And she's like, tastes like ice. And I'm like, what? And she basically is like, I can't actually taste anything, so all I know is that it's ice. Like, so if I eat mint, I can feel the cool, so I know there's mint in it. But, like, all I know is that this is ice, and I move it around, and it's cold. And she's like, but I'm eating it slowly because I don't want to get a brain freeze. Because she has, like, a constant fucking headache the whole time.
Right.
Anyway. So, anyway, I think that's enough talk about COVID. COVID fucking sucks, but one positive to it for our podcast is you're stuck at fucking home. So what else do you have to do but listen to our stupid asses?
You're either stuck at home or you're first to work.
First to work. And then you can listen to our stupid asses in your car on the way home. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get to the story. The
All right.
butcher fucking baker. The baker
butcher
who butches.
baker. Stay away from sugar. Stay away from bakers.
That's right. And butchers are pretty hot.
Are they?
I mean,
They
if you're a
feel like
carnivore.
grizzly.
In my carnivore group, we have threads going of like hot butchers because when you become that meat obsessed,
Add me to that group.
you want to see the carnivore butchers.
I want to see the carnivore butchers.
I got a friend, Mikey, on the internet. We have never met in person. I got a lot of internet friends. You know, I'm weird. That's how weird people meet. He's a butcher, and he stuffs a mean sausage. Shout out to Mikey in New York.
Mikey
all right.
and his sausages. Woo!
Mikey, I'm going to tell you about the story, the butcher baker.
All right. So today I bring you guys the story of Robert Hansen.
Bop, dip. Oh, wait. No, wrong one.
All right. Robert Hansen was born in February of 1939 in Esterville, Iowa. His father was a Danish immigrant who owned a bakery. He was also a strict disciplinarian.
Interesting. Always a strict disciplinarian around.
I don't even think it's like that. Like, foreigners be like that.
When we get to talking about murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that childhood abuse, man. It'll do you in.
Don't beat your children. Hansen's childhood was not an easy one. He worked long hours in the family bakery from a young age. Though he was naturally left-handed, he was forced to use his right hand instead, a switch that resulted in a lifelong stutter.
I think they used to do that to left-handed people, didn't they?
Right. Especially in Catholic school and stuff, they made you right because they're like, left is evil.
Yeah.
It was yeah.
Holy shit. No wonder he became a murderer.
Gonna use his left hand.
And lefties are fucking weird anyway. Let's just all be honest.
My mom was
Lefties and
left-handed.
redheads. They're like in their own group of fucking weirdos.
My mother.
I know.
As a teenager, he was painfully shy, had bad acne, and was mocked for his stutter. The boys at school made fun of him, and the girls he liked rejected him. He was often described as a loner. As a social outcast, he took refuge in time spent alone. Over time, he became an avid hunter, channeling his rage and fantasies of vengeance into the sport of stalking animals.
Oh, if only he had just kept hunting animals.
Oh, he kept hunting. We ain't got there yet.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
In 1957, when he was 18 years old, Hansen joined the United States Army Reserve, hoping to leave behind his troubled youth and make something of himself.
I think the Army is just another place to channel his aggression and anger.
Right, if I wanted to shoot things and get away with vengeance.
Right, now I can not just shoot cows, I can go murder people in the Army.
Right, but he joined the reserves. It's different.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
For a while, he did. After serving a year in the reserves, he became an assistant drill instructor in Pocahontas, Iowa, and even married a young woman he met there. I know that name threw me off. Like, Pocahontas, Iowa.
I'm just thinking, like, first I laugh because it's Pocahontas, Iowa, right? And then you talk about him marrying a young woman he met there, which is like the whole story of Pocahontas. What the fuck is going on? Anyway.
Don't even get me started on Pocahontas.
Okay, we'll talk about that on another cultural appropriation special.
But Hansen still felt mistreated by the community and sought retaliation. In 1960, at the age of 21, he convinced a young bakery employee to help him burn down a school bus garage. When the boy later confessed, Hansen was arrested. His wife divorced him, leaving him alone and incarcerated.
Okay, wait, stop, back up. Reel the tape back. Hold on. Okay. He was mad. Doesn't say why, right? So we don't know. He just feels mistreated for unknown reasons.
He had a stutter. They bullied him.
Oh, okay. But that was in this new town in Pocahontas?
No, he just still felt mistreated.
He still felt mistreated. Yeah. Okay. This is a phenomenon I want to understand. And I think I might try to do some research on it. But he's mad. But why does that always result in damage to schools, school children, school-related items? I mean, I heard a story on
it makes sense.
MFM earlier today. I was listening to their mini-sode, and they're talking about something that happened, and it was at the school board. And it's like the third school board shooting type story I've heard. So, I'm like, today my daughter's like, are you going to join the PTA? And I'm like, no, I'm not getting fucking shot up at the school board. Fuck that. Like,
it makes sense, though. Because
the buses? Okay, tell me.
No, because a lot of trauma for a lot of people happens at school.
On the school bus.
On the school bus or at the school playground or just...
The school bus is even worse, though.
Yeah.
Because that bus driver can't pay attention to shit.
I saw a kid get stomped on the school bus once.
Oh, I get it. I'm so glad you're here. Explain these things to me.
You're welcome. I try sometimes. Though he was released just 20 months into his 3-year sentence for arson, he was jailed a few more times afterwards for petty theft. Still, he managed to remarry to another local woman.
They always remarry.
They always remarry.
Mm-hmm. My dad's had 8 wives. Anyway.
8?
Yeah, 8. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. 8? God damn.
8,
Sorry,
yeah.
GD. Finally, Hansen decided he had enough of the contiguous United States. Contiguous? Whatever. The parts...
It's contiguous.
In 1976, he moved to Anchorage, Alaska, which was about as far away from his life in Iowa as he can get.
Sounds like a good decision.
Right? He moved into a small community, had 2 children with his wife, and settled into a quiet life. He was well liked and opened up a small bakery.
Aw, how kind of him.
He was... Oh.
He's turning a corner.
He's turning a corner.
Reformation.
Reformation. But
something clearly happened. Because you're still telling the story.
The story still continues.
The story's still going on.
He just burned down those buses and reformed.
He burned down those buses and went on to live a quiet life as a baker.
But while the townspeople mostly bought into the facade of a happy baker with a quiet family and a knack for hunting...
I meant to say facade.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's okay. I do that sometimes. But yeah, so facade.
Facade.
Facade means fake life, essentially, or a fake item. Like you're putting on a show.
Yeah.
So clearly his turning the leaf was a facade.
But you know what? Facade, but facade, they also could have the same meaning because fake aid.
Okay. All right now.
Facade. Some cracks show through Hansen's squeaky clean exterior. In 1972, he was arrested twice. Once for the abduction and attempted rape of a housewife. And again...
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wait until you get through this story because you're like, y'all.
Is he still married?
Yes.
Okay.
and attempted rape of a housewife, and again for raping a prostitute. Unknown to authorities, his killing spree began in 1973, likely emboldened by his ability to walk free after those early rapes.
So 73, he was born in 30, so he's like 40, 40-ish right now. And he just got off
From those rapes?
earlier rapes?
Yeah.
What the fuck? It doesn't give any details about that.
It doesn't. Well,
Because
one
they
of them
were
was an attempted rape, but he did rape a prostitute, but it was, you know how people feel.
Nobody cares about prostitutes in America. All right,
Especially Alaska.
Right.
The year of 1976 saw Hansen arrested again and sentenced to 5 years for shoplifting a chainsaw. However, he appealed that sentence and was released. While he continued to prey on strippers and sex workers, who he forced to act out his twisted fantasies. Now, this is a story about Cindy Paulson.
Okay, wait. I want to stop about the sex workers, though, because I am someone who supports rights for sex workers because I feel like it makes their work safe.
Right.
When we don't have, like, sex worker rights, it can't be safe. And I have a couple of friends who work in the sex industry in Australia, and I just want to bring attention to that. If you haven't done a lot of research about sex workers and, you think that you're just going to see whores running the streets, which I don't really understand why people freak about making sex work legal anyway. Like, at least it's going to be done in the private instead of did you have a street in your town that you knew that's where the prostitutes were?
It's the one where they're like, you can't turn right here after this time.
Yeah,
because they try to make these rules.
Yeah, like in Dallas where I grew up, it was Harry Hines Boulevard. Mm-hmm. And I think there's one here in Seattle, Tacoma somewhere. So anyway, if we made it legal or, some sort of protections for it, because literally people can do whatever they want with their own fucking body, then at least they wouldn't be roaming the fucking streets.
And it's not even that. It's like any kind of crime that involves a sex worker or a prostitute or somebody of that nature, they don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
They don't get the same kind of justice.
Yeah, exactly. And, you can have your opinions about what's okay for people to do and what's not okay for people to do. But even Jesus didn't, condemn the whore.
Jesus
right?
hung out with whores, too.
He was just, still going to take care of her. And it's the same process here. We still need to take care of people. And we don't want people out getting murdered. That's somebody's family member. They may not be making right choices right now. That doesn't mean they can't recover or get better. So anyway, really fucking trash that he's out murdering sex workers.
All right. So we're talking about Cindy Paulson.
Yeah, Cindy Paulson.
She is a survivor.
Hey, survivors.
But it's kind of tragic. So let's read. In 1983, more than a decade after Hansen moved to Anchorage, a 17-year-old girl named Cindy Paulson was found running frantically down 6th Avenue barefoot and handcuffed. After being picked up by a driver and returned to safety, a prostitute told her story to police. She described being held hostage by a man who'd handcuffed her to his car, held her at gunpoint, and took her to his house where he chained her by the neck.
Wait, Paulson is a prostitute?
Yes.
Okay. And so she's saying that she got taken to his house, or he abducted her.
Yes.
Took her to his house and then chained her to something by her neck?
Yes.
But when she's running down the street and they find her, she's naked and handcuffed.
He handcuffed her to her car, and he also had her chained by the neck.
Oh.
He was extra precautious.
Extra precautious. So he's definitely escalating here.
Right. Well, right. The man raped and tortured her repeatedly before attempting to load her onto a plane and take her to his cabin in Matanuska, Satina Valley, about 35 miles north of Anchorage.
Oh, so he has 2 houses now?
He has a cabin.
He's got a house and a cabin.
And a plane.
And a plane.
Yes.
Oh, he's moving on up.
He is. He's a local bakery, okay? Bakers.
Bakers be making bank, apparently.
Making dough.
Although everybody's got a fucking plane in Alaska.
Right. As the man prepared the plane for takeoff, Paulson managed to escape, leaving her shoes behind as evidence. Hansen fit the description of the kidnapper perfectly. Paulson even described his stutter and identified his plane, but police were still reluctant to bring him in. After all,
Fuck yeah.
right?
I mean, okay, it's one thing police are one thing, right? I mean, there's good cops, there's bad cops, there's good detectives, there's bad detectives.
And there's dumb ones all sprinkled in between.
And I kind of understand it a little bit more, like, as a nurse, right? After you've been a nurse for long enough, especially if you work in a crisis area unit, right? Like, I work in psych crisis, but ED nurses can attest to this. After you've seen so much, it's really hard to, like, not get lackadaisical about stuff. Because you're just like, ugh, everybody comes in here claiming things happen, right? And the cops are like, oh, this is such a far-fetched story. Like, we hear this crap all the time, you know?
Oh, I told you she was barefoot, right?
Yeah, she's barefoot.
Left her shoes on there there at his house on purpose.
On purpose, so they'd find him, right? When they
Still
go
didn't
back.
bring him in.
But they didn't even go look to even find the shoes, right? They're like, oh, no, this didn't actually happen.
Police were still reluctant to bring him in. After all, though he was no stranger to trouble with the law, the local baker was well liked in the community.
Oh, sounds like Trump.
Hanson? I'm dead.
If you're well liked, you can get away with anything.
can get
Especially if
away-
you're a white male.
A well-liked white man.
Well liked white man.
Hanson admitted that he had met the girl but claimed she was setting him up because he had refused to pay her exorbitant, they spelled that wrong on here,
Exorbitant? Okay.
demand. When he told police about his strong alibi provided by a friend, he was released.
Oh, a friend. That's all you need.
A friend.
Who's that friend that'll help you hide the body? Call that one.
Meanwhile, Alaska state troopers were convinced a serial killer was on the loose. Several sex workers and dancers had gone missing, and troopers were beginning...
What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm sorry. I know you're trying to tell this story, but this is such a what the fuck moment.
I told you
It can't be the baker. He's fucking nice. But all these other whores keep disappearing. And he's the only one that has crimes on his past historical crime record related to whores. But he can't be the one doing it.
It's not him. It's not the baker.
See, this is why, like, you always give me shit about my obsession with talking about narcissism. But, like, this is why I'm so obsessed with it. And it's like, why it like just boils my blood because they're so good at manipulation and they're so good at looking like people when they talk about Trump, and I'll bring this up more, but I just got to have a little aside here. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, when people talk about Trump, they're like, Trump has done ABC good things. He signed ABC good bills, whatever, right? Do you realize that the best way to convince people that you're a good person is by doing good things?
Yeah.
Like, it's not about the fact that you did or didn't do good things. It's about your attention behind it.
Bad people can do good things.
Bad people do a lot of good things because that's the best way to convince people that you're a good person. It's not because he fucking loves people. Trump is, like, clearly you can look at his history. He doesn't fucking love people. He doesn't love black people. He doesn't love gay people. He only signed fucking shit
Sure,
into
he doesn't
bills.
even love his wife.
She doesn't even want to hold his fucking hand. Like, have you seen the memes? They're hilarious. But anyway, this makes me so fucking aggravated. Like, narcissists will come off to be good guys. So tell me more about this prick.
So several sex workers and dancers had gone missing, and troopers were beginning to find bodies. When 2 bodies were discovered in the Matanuska Susitna... Read that for me.
Okay, let me see here.
Right here.
I'm going to work this out for you. Matanuska Susitna Valley.
Matanuska Susitna Valley.
That's very native sounding.
When 2 bodies were discovered in the Matanuska Susitna Valley, along with .23 shell casings nearby, Hanson was a prime suspect, but the police needed proof.
The bullets and the bodies
Near his cabin.
proof.
Anyway,
What?
this led to the involvement of the FBI, because the FBI was like, y'all are fucking dumb.
Yeah, you're stupid.
Including
God.
now retired FBI agent John Douglas, who helped pioneer the field of criminal profiling. He has a story depicted on Netflix called Mindhunter. Douglas put together a psychological profile of the killer based on the details of the case and the injuries inflicted on the recovered bodies. He theorized that the killer was an experienced hunter with low self-esteem and a history of being rejected by women, and that he likely had a stutter. He did this whole profile without ever seeing the man. Just based on
He's like that genius guy on that one NCIS type show.
Monk.
No, the other one. Monk is a good one, but that other one, the younger one,
Psych.
I can't think of his name, but anyway.
Criminal Minds.
Yeah, I think it's Criminal Minds. He's like a savant,
Yeah.
right? Like autistic almost, and like they just pull him in and he just like can analyze a whole room. But how can you tell a guy has a stutter?
Based on the way he stabbed, apparently. I don't know.
That's so interesting.
Though he had been cleared several times before, there was no doubt about it. Hansen fit the profile almost exactly. What's more, he owned a bush plane and a cabin in Matanuska, Susitna Valley.
Oh my God, just say the valley
He-
next time. Fuck.
The police soon obtained a warrant to search Hansen's plane, car, and home. What they found shocked them. Oh, what they found. What they could have found earlier. Anyway,
No shit.
the horror that Hansen's victims had endured was almost too macabre to believe. Macabre? Wow. In Anchorage, Hansen was a respected business owner known for his skill as a bow hunter. The den in his home was decorated with hunting trophies and animals mounted on the walls. He even set a few bow hunting records.
Wait, so he was a baker?
He was a baker and a hunter.
So where did he get the butcher term?
For the murdering.
For the murdering. Okay, got it. Nice pun there.
Right?
Get it. All right.
But what no one knew is that for more than a decade, the hunter had also been collecting trophies from other kinds of kills.
Prostitutes. Jesus Christ.
Hansen mainly targeted sex workers and exotic dancers from around Anchorage. He would kidnap the women and either drive or fly them in his private bush plane out to his cabin in remote Alaskan bush. If the women didn't put up a fight, he would rape them and bring them back to town, threatening them into secrecy. But those who did not cooperate suffered a truly nightmarish fate. So not only was he killing women, he was raping them, which was a given, but he was raping other women and being like, you want to fight? No? Okay, you can go live. But if you put up a fight...
I'm going to tell you why. Actually, I have an answer for this.
You have an answer?
Okay. If he is hunting these women, which is what it sounds like the story is leading up to, okay, an easy prey is not any fun. So if you're not going to fight me when I rape you, you're damn sure going to just like curl up in a ball, you know, and shake until I shoot you.
Right.
But if you're going to fight, that's going to be a fun hunt. So
Well,
that's my theory.
Crystal, you is right. That's why I didn't want to start off with the excerpt from the beginning of the article talking about the deadliest catch.
Oh, yeah, because that would have ruined it.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Wasn't there a fucking movie about this guy?
Yes.
Okay, you can tell me about that in a minute.
And out in the wilderness, his favorite location was along the Nick River. Hansen would set the women free. For a moment, they'd have hope that there was a chance to escape. Then as they ran for their lives, he would track them down, taking his time, hunting them like wild animals.
Oh, my God.
Armed with a hunting knife and a .23 caliber Ruger Mini 14 rifle. Ruger, thank you.
I like guns.
They all right. He tortured a woman with this chase for hours or sometimes days at a time until he located his prey and shot them like game.
Is his wife like, oh, my husband's just at the cabin hunting for 3 days?
Probably.
Wow.
The story of Hansen's horrific 12-year killing spree later
12 years?
It started in 73. So remember he got in trouble for those rapes in 72?
Yeah.
It started
that he just got off on.
Yes. So he started killing in 73.
It took them 12 years to get the FBI involved?
It took him 12. The girl, Cindy Paulson?
Yeah.
That didn't happen until 83.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So nobody escaped for a 10-year period?
Yeah.
God dang.
So later became the subject of the 2013 movie Frozen Ground.
I've never seen it.
It's starring John Cusack as Robert Hansen and Nicolas Cage as
John Cusack would be great at that role. But Nicolas Cage, meh.
He was a trooper.
His movies are like...
hit or miss.
Yeah, you're either going to like, this is going to be a 10 or an absolute 2. Like,
never a 0, though. So good for you, Nicolas Cage.
Holy cow. I can't... So how many women?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay. Oh, sorry. This is an exciting story.
While searching Hansen's
Really
home...
fucked up, sad, but also exciting story.
Mostly fucked up and sad.
Mostly fucked up. Those poor victims. Anyway.
Yeah. While searching Hanson's home, police found an aviation map of the area hidden in the headboard of his bed. It was marked with tiny X's, denoting the kill and burial sites of his victims.
Oh, that's his, what do they call those? Their tell or something? Because or
Memento?
memento. Yes, that's his memento.
That's not his memento.
Oh, okay. There's more. What I expect anything less with this fucking story?
The Butcher Baker. There's so many layers.
There's so
to
much
this guy.
more. I wonder what he baked well. I'm very curious to know.
What was he known for?
Anyway, go ahead.
Some of the X marks matched up with where police had found bodies. There were 24 X's in all.
Oh, how surprising. Fuck.
What's more, in his psychological profile of the killer, Douglas had predicted that the murderer would keep souvenirs from his prey. Sure enough, in the basement of Hanson's home, police found a stash of jewelry. In the stash was a necklace that belonged to one of the victims. Faced with the evidence in 1984, Hanson confessed to murdering 17 women and raping another 30 women over a 12-year period of time.
47 victims? Jesus.
That's what he confessed to.
I hope they chopped his balls off and hung him from a string.
No, he got to die at an old age.
What the fuck?
Hanson was sentenced to 461 years plus life in prison without parole. In 1984, he was from prison at Spring Creek Correctional Center in Seward, Alaska, where he died in 2014.
Did they not have the death penalty in Alaska?
As a part of a plea bargain, the Butcher Baker
Oh, God.
was only ever charged with 4 of the 17 murders he confessed to. And
So that he would tell them the rest of the information.
yes, some believe
How
that he actually
fucking
killed
trash.
more than 20 women.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
In exchange for the reduced conviction, Hanson agreed to assist police in locating the remaining bodies plotted on his kill map.
Oh, I'm sure his narcissism loved that. Gets to
Unfortunately,
walk around and parade about his kills.
5 of the bodies have still not been found to this day, and Hanson took the secret of their locations to his grave.
He probably doesn't fucking remember because he's killing so many women. How can he even keep up with that?
So here's another thing, too. You know why you probably never heard of this guy before?
Why?
A part of his plea bargain was that he didn't want this publicized.
Oh, now that is weird. Maybe he wasn't very narcissistic because that's interesting.
He, no interview, he didn't want anything to do with the press.
Huh.
It's like it's open knowledge, but no interviews
I don't want
with
to be
him.
interviewed. I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Weird.
I don't think it's about, I think he has some antisocial.
Personality disorder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, during his incarceration, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and periodic schizophrenic episodes. And he had infantile personality and was obsessed with getting back at people he felt had wronged him.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds more accurate. Also, periodic schizophrenic episodes is not an actual diagnosis.
That's what
They
told me.
Well, usually if you're bipolar disorder and then you have some schizophrenia symptoms, the diagnosis is actually called schizoaffective disorder.
Oh.
So that's where you have bipolar disorder and your mania usually leads to some schizophrenic, psychosis. Oftentimes, one of the big pet peeves of us who are professionals will see that, regular doctors have diagnosed people with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. But if you have symptoms of both, then your diagnosis should be schizoaffective disorder. So, and it makes sense. I mean, maybe he had some paranoid delusions or, I find that a lot of the antisocial males that I've taken care of and that I've studied over the course of, my 10 plus years of reading about psychology, they usually have a lot of issues with their mothers or they watch their fathers be really abusive to their mothers, and so they don't really think that women have a value or a worth. And so then their kind of paranoid delusions about women come out in their crimes, which would make sense because he's picking up prostitutes
and also him being consistently rejected throughout his childhood years and teenage years.
Kind of like that whole incel thing that he's got going on. Well, that is just fucking, I don't even know how to end this show now because I am...
Want to end it on a happier note? You got any happy stories?
I don't have any happy stories, unfortunately, for you guys. But that's really fucking sad. The Butcher Baker.
The Butcher Baker.
Well, if you guys happen to find out what he baked well, we'd love to have you spoon feed that to us.
My guess is apple pie. I don't
Apple
feel like
pie.
anybody can mess up apple pie, but if you're like a really good baker, I feel like that would be your jam. Or
It would be your
his father was Danish.
Oh. Oh, I bet he made a mean cheese Danish.
I bet he did. I don't like to think anything good about this man,
Yeah,
but I know
don't
that
either.
cheese Danish was
Oh my gosh.
to die
Cheese Danish
for.
is fucking phenomenal.
Right.
It's like my favorite. It's the best Danish in existence.
There's other ones like the trash. Cheese Danish?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so we just launched our new
Mayhem
Stories. We would love that if you guys have any awesome, gruesome local news stories that you'd love to share with us, or stories about people in your community who are dealing with some mental health issues that you find interesting, please shoot us an email at triplemcast@gmail.com. That's triplemcast@gmail.com. And we'd love to feature them on our show. If you're struggling right now and you feel like you maybe want to drop some bitches off in the woods to chase them around, please
Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that. Please reach out, find a therapist, talk to a friend, whatever you need to do so that you don't end up on our show. All right, have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. As we said, for the holidays, Triple M is showcasing local artists from around the world, and you can check out our social media page to see art this week from AJ Piatak. You can find AJ on Insta at Earth Garbage or on his Etsy shop at Earth Garbage. Support small business and pick up a custom Christmas present or hit him up for a commission. Thanks so much, AJ, for sharing your art with us and being a listener.